Hello guys, I am Vandana Dutt, and in today's topic we are going to do why we are doing generalization, specialization and aggregations in ER model. Why and how ER model become complex, and to reduce the complexity we use these three tricks: generalization, specialization and aggregation. In today's video I will tell you how they work and how they look like by taking the examples also. So let's get started with today's topic. Why we perform DBMS generalization, DBMS specialization and DBMS aggregation. The first thing is ER model became more complex for large databases. Yes, in the large databases there are thousand number of tables and each table has thousands number of records. सो इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स डाटा, इतना लार्ज अमाउंट में डाटा हो जाता है कि उससे मैनेज करना मुश्किल हो जाता है. सो टू रिड्यूस द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी वी नीड सच कॉन्सेप्ट्स लाइक जनरलाइजेशन, स्पेशलाइजेशन एंड एग्रीगेशन. Simple mechanism is used to remove redundant data or excessive detail of object is known as abstraction. In ER model, it work on the conceptual layer also. In conceptual layer, here we know it's a user, your conceptual layer. Here you will get the conceptual layer and here you will get the databases. Now user request to this conceptual layer and this conceptual layer will further fetch the data from the databases. So conceptual layer hide so many details from the users of the databases. It hide details of databases from the user, so we need a process abstraction. That is why we are using specialization and generalization, who are fundamental concepts in the database modeling that are useful for establishing superclasses and subclasses relationship. In generalization, generalization is a bottom-up approach in which multiple lower level entities are combined to form a single high level entity. Multiple low level entities will be combined to form a single high level entity. For example, there is a person who is a teacher, who is a researcher also, and who is a game developer also. So we have these three lower level entities which we can combine together and to form a high level entity. It is used to find common attributes among entities to form a generalized entity. Yes, if you want to generalize the view, you need to find out those entities who have the same attributes to which you can combine and you can make a high level entity. Let's talk about the specialization. It's a second method. First, specialization is opposite to generalization. In generalization, we combine lower level entities to form a high level entity, right? But in specialization we will not combine actually, we will break down the high level entity into the low level entities, right? First, you can see it's a top down approach where one high level entity is divided into sub entities based on their characteristics. First, entity, it is defined first. How? Because we will get to know what we need to break down. Second, sub entities and related attributes. Now this high entities which we have divided into sub entity parts, it's a second step. Divide the high entity into sub entity and their related attributes. Related attributes means name. For example, name. These three attributes have the same attribute, name. We can combine this attribute. And the third one is relationship between all the entities and attributes. Let's take an example of specialization. Let's take a high level entity, the main entity. इसका name है person. Then the symbol which we will use for specialization is a triangle. Now this high level entity is divided into sub entities. So this will be a person which you can call teacher, and also a manager of a company. The person can be two things, a teacher and a manager. So this is the specialization symbol. Symbol, and further it has different properties. The main part you need to understand in this example is the specialization symbol and how we can divide high level entity into two different low level entities for more generalized view, for more detailed, you can say, view. Let's take an example of generalization and specialization, right? Here we will first, I'll show you generalization, we will show by this symbol, and specialization we will show by this symbol, a triangle symbol, right? First we will take an example. Here first we will take a person who is a yoga trainer, and we have a person who is a teacher, right? This yoga trainer person has three attributes: name, age, and classes which he takes. Teacher, we have three attributes again: name, age, and salary, right? Now we will do generalization and specialization on the same example. Let's take a high level entity, name, person. We can define these two entities, teacher and yoga trainer, as a person. Now we can write here the same, or you can say the common attributes in these two entities, which are name and age. Now this is your generalization. This is your generalization, and this is your specialization symbol. You can divide it again further. The two entities we have, this yoga trainer and teacher, and again yoga trainer and teacher entity, right? Now this yoga trainer has what different attribute you can write here, which is classes he takes, and teacher has a different attribute which is not at all common in these two, is a salary. Same with, you can write here, yoga has the classes and the teacher has a salary attribute. Now let's take a look here. The person is a high level entity here, which is a generalized view. If you are going to see the generalized view of this thing, if you look at this thing, it's a generalized view. It is showing you a generalized view. Two low level entities, yoga trainer and teacher, are combined or clubbed together to form a high level entity by this, using the triangle symbol. In specialization, we are dividing this high level person entity into the two subparts. One is yoga trainer and the other is teacher. So the only difference is that we can, in generalization, we can club low level entities into high level, and in specialization we can divide these high level entities into the subparts, as you are seeing. And the second difference is the symbol. In generalization you are using this triangle symbol, and in specialization you are using the triangle symbol but in the opposite direction. Let's talk about DBMS aggregation. As we all know that ER diagrams show relationship between entities and entities between the attributes. They show relationship between entities and attributes. They never can or they can never represent a relationship between an entity and a relationship. In aggregation approach, a relationship with its corresponding entity is aggregated into a high level entity. It means relationship between two entities act as one entity. I know it sounds confusing, but don't worry, the example we will take will clear all your doubts. Like for example, we have this A entity which is related to entity B, and this relationship is further related to entity C, right? ER model shows the relationship between these two entities, but they can never show the relationship between a relationship and an entity. So the aggregation will do one thing, that he will convert this relationship into a high level entity which will have a records of these two entities and will make a relation with these C entity through this relation, right? Relation between two entity is target as a single entity. Now it will be a single entity or a high level entity which have a combination of these two A and B entity set and will make a relationship with the C entity through this relationship. Now take an example of this thing also. We have this student entity and we have project entity. Now many number of students are working on n number of projects. Now this working on, here we have a teacher entity which is related by work under entity to the relationship. Now teacher, if teacher wants to know that how many number of students are working in one project and how many projects how many numbers of students are working, so she needs to check out the two tables, whereas by using aggregation we can make one single entity work where detail of students on which they are working, project as a, and the detail of project under which students, how many students are working, will be combined in a single entity, and this entity will be related to the teacher model and will give information to the teacher by combining these two. So the aggregation, what will aggregation do? It will combine two entities and the relationship between these two entities will become a high level entity. So the reason for using aggregation in DBMS, why we are using aggregation in DBMS? DBMS may consist of many entities that are not significant enough to provide meaningful information. As we know, there are 1000 number of tables and 1000 number of records. There may be a reason that there are some informations which are meaningful if they are not connected to any high level entity. So what is the meaning of first the trivial entity? Trivial means the weak entities which are alone and which are unnecessarily or doesn't provide any enough meaningful information. So in such cases the trivial entities can be combined into one complex entity through aggregation. For example, food items like spring roll, noodles, cold drinks can be all combined into one single high level entity which is named menu, right? In this menu we can write down all the single trivial entities, multiple trivial entities which are weak if they are written down individually. Second is aggregation is also needed if a DBMS has a single trivial entity that should be used for multiple operations. In this case, tribal entity is used to form relationship with other entities, right? A customer of bank has nominee for his account. This is the bank. It has customers. Now customer has FD, saving accounts, for which he or she has nominee. Now this nominee entity will be meaningful or will be a weak entity if it is not connected to the customer. ये nominee entity weak entity हो जाएगी अगर ये customer table के साथ connection नहीं show करती. बैंक के लिए ये nominee entity बिल्कुल ही waste है, but for the customer and for the detailed information of the customer, that who is the nominee of the FD or saving account, this nominee table is very important. So DBMS has a single tribal entity that should be used for multiple operations. Aggregation we used to do in some cases. Now DBMS aggregation operations. There are number of operations which we can apply in aggregation, but this will be applied only if you have the values, like the digit values, right? First, it will add all the data values. If you apply the sum operation, average, this function provide the mean or average of data value. Count, this provides the number of records in the tables, right? Maximum, the function provides the maximum value of a given set of data. Minimum, the function provides the minimum value of a given data. Advantages of aggregation in DBMS. First, it helps to ensure that all the tribal or the weak entities are utilized within the system. Without this operation, the weak entities may become inoperative. There will be no use of these weak entities if we will not use the aggregation. It allows multiple aggregation which ensure that the entire system is fully functional. Fully functional means if we have weak entities, they will be remain idle or stable if we do not use aggregation. In aggregation, it will combine to the higher level entity, and when we will fetch the data, the high level entity will fetch the data from this weak entity. So the full functional system it provide. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is all about today's video, in which you have learned different methods of aggregation and abstractions. So this is all about today's video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and please do press the bell icon so that you can never miss an update whenever I will update new video. And please do share with your friends so that they can also learn from these videos. Thank you.